Hello everyone, welcome back to another video by EClip on my YouTube channel. As I already mentioned, I started working on my music and this will be the first video with this kind of approach of the videos. So after this video you can comment below and tell me if you like this. I will not stop with the technical videos, but because I'm running out of ideas and basically I want to do something more creative to show you that making music have two sides. One is the creative, and when it comes to sound design and dropping the samples and creating and writing melodies, arranging and whatsoever, not only the technical stuff. With the technical tutorials I just wanted to help all of you who have some doubts and to show you some of the techniques that you can fasten up your mixing or making your sounds to be better in order that you can be creative. But as I already made 30 videos of this kind, I want to start to show you my creative process as well. So to record the whole creative process is kind of painful and it requires really huge computer, the memory so that I can record the screen, so I can record the video and to work with my music. And basically when I'm in creative mood I cannot be concentrating on the recordings and so on. So basically my idea is to start with the track, and when I have something already done, then I will record it and try to explain what I did and how it's going. So let's start with it. So the first thing I'm usually doing, I'm importing the template inside the project. So when I'm in creative mood, I do not want to design the kicks, the basses, the hi-hats and so on, because this is much harder part of making music and it requires a lot of time and energy and whatsoever. So basically I do have those moments when I'm creating the templates and where I'm designing the kick, the bass and everything else. But this is kind of a process. I do it only when I do not have anything, when I don't want to write a track. Basically, it's a kind of a preparation thing before I start writing some music. So basically, I will just play to you this template I created. So this is how it starts. It starts with this. So I had it already done. I imported it. I'm changing the kick and I'm changing the bass line. I'm trying to change the kick a little bit, and I already made a lot of really good kicks. Basically I did it 7-8 months ago as I wanted to release a kick pack, but I postponed it for some other reasons. But anyway, so I will probably release on my website soon. I will release the pack with several kicks, not several, I have 30 already ready, so I will probably do 20 more, so like 50 kicks I'm gonna put on my shop pretty soon. Anyway, so the kick is the most important part of the whole template. This I said already, because the good kick is a key for a really good mix later on, as if the kick is good, and to kick to be good it requires a lot of things, but basically if you have a good kick then you shouldn't have much more problems later on with even when you import the hi-hats. But basically when you have the template that sounds really good, I do not have any problems with mixing all the other parts later on. So basically for me the template, when I say the template I mean kick, bass and all the hi-hats. When you have that ready, when I have that ready, then I do not have even one problem of mixing later on. So I'm gonna play to you only the template that I imported it, and where before I start writing I usually put 16 bars of kick and bass only, and then I start to add hi-hats. It probably won't be this much hi-hats in the beginning, but I just want you to hear the whole template. So this template was already done, but the bassline was rolling bassline. And lately I am a bit more inside that older progressive Psytrance bass lines, more that are with the more dynamic, because this track will probably have the rolling bass line on the end, but it might happen, it will not. So if you listened any progressive Psytrance from 2002, 3, 2004, you will be able to hear a lot of these kinds of bass lines, and I enjoy more because they a bit slow down on track. And lately I'm enjoying more in a bit slower music that are slowly developed and whatsoever. So after I imported the template and I extended it a little bit, so I started adding some of the... First, what I did, I imported those, I call them sequences or additional groove elements. Basically with them, I'm always trying to enrich the groove a little bit. They are small steps and kind of a sequences that contain some notes, but they are more there to enrich the groove in a percussive way. And I always have a feeling like they are communicating between each other. For me, this is the main thing in a Psytrance music, as we do not have much of the freedom regarding the bass lines, and because all the tracks are kind of fast. So basically this is where I find my freedom to do something different, and that will create each track to sound much more different. So this was the first thing I did after it. So I had a template and then I added those elements. So basically, this is the moment when I start to play with the sound design. This channel is just one note of the bass, some preset from Omnisphere. So only that. And then I made this really nice preset with Timeless 2, because Timeless have the XLFOs. It's a delay with a lot of LFOs, which is really amazing. And if you understand how to make those and how to connect them with what, they can just give you an amazing results. So there are two different notes. The first is, I believe, A, and the second one is F sharp. Then I inserted black hole after it. And then I love to add a lot of LFO tools in almost all of them, because with LFO tool I can create additional dynamics which are kind of missing in if we do not put anything. So I like it to kind of or sidechaining or to gate some of the effects, and they just increasing the dynamic of them. And then after that I compressed a little bit of low mids. I just want to make sure that this area does not have a long peaks. After that I have a compressor, but I compressed only the mid, only what's in the middle, not on the side. The side I didn't touch. And after that I brought a little bit again of those low mids. And after that what I did, I duplicated this channel, and this one I transposed for -20 semitones. I could do the same from the Omnisphere and to transpose it to play just one octave below it, but this is one really important thing for my music, is that I really like sampling a lot. And I use a lot of samples, not a lot, but I use as much as I use the synthesizers, that much I use the samples as well, because sampling is just different from creating the synthesis from Serum, from Virus, from anything out there. Because when you press this note and this one, they just gonna be the same. They will have the same tones, just in a different octaves. While if you transpose it from your DAW, it will create some kind of artificial moment, and I really like how it sounds. It is not something that you need to do or something, but I love to manipulate with samples directly from Cubase, as I just find it to sound really, really good. And I will make one video which is gonna be called Synthesis versus Sampling, where I'm gonna explain in details why I love sampling that much, as it's just different. So basically, it is kind of that you are choosing the tools. So if you go only with synthesis, then it's like you are working with one tool. But if you are working with synthesis, with the sound design and sampling, it's like you are having two different tools. And this is, I believe, the really important part of creating a Psytrance music, is that you get rid of all of the limits that you have, as if you limit yourself, you're limiting your music, and it will just not sound rich as it could sound if you use all the tools. Anyway, let's go further on. After that I have Sequence, which is just one semitone above. It's a bass note, but the bass line is going in F sharp. And this is just semitone above that, which is G. And also in the past I used to create all these additional groove elements and single shot sounds in a key root, and I'm trying to get rid of all the limitations that I created for myself. So I will now use all of them in a different notes regarding the scale that I'm using for that track. And after that I have small melody, which is really similar to this one, but it will just go after it, and that way it will create some kind of really nice sounding. Three notes, and all of them together are creating some kind of different groove. And after that I started importing the single shot sounds, which I find the most important in my music, as they will give the smell, the taste of a track. I'm looking for something that is really ambiental, in a way of creating the atmosphere. Not ambiental, the atmosphere. So I will always have some distorted sounds, some synthetic sounds. I will have some really light sounds, beautiful light sounds. I will have some transitional elements like this one over here. And I will also have some of the cinematic sounds as well, as I love to use cinematic samples inside my music. And I will have I still didn't do it because this is the first session, and in the next session you will probably see I will add a lot of those single shots that are percussive. So basically I'm trying to use a wide range of different kind of single shot sounds as much as I can. And after that I will start adding the atmospheric sounds as well, like vocals, some kind of short organic instruments, will it be the flutes or something. And that way I believe I'm touching every fields and every part, and I believe this is what gives the richness to my music. At least this is how I feel it. Of course, will somebody like my music? It depends from the taste, of course, and I understand that really well, but I'm just trying, again, I'm not teaching you how it needs to be, I'm just showing my way, and from my techniques and my approach you can learn something, and I cannot teach you something that I do not know or that I don't use, so this is the only way I can teach you. So basically, if I play those single shot sounds, only them, and so on. So I added just few of them right now, and probably I will delete some of them. A lot of them I will be layering later on, as this is a first sketch and I need some time to listen them, and if some of those sounds start to become boring to me, I will try to add few more layers and to combine few different sounds into the one. and that way the track will just grow, and I will add later on some of the percussive single shots and probably some short melodies like small arp, like 3 notes on a delay, reverb. That will depend of how much of dark sounds I will add. That way I will know that I will need to add that much of the light sounds as well, as I really like this kind of contrast when I have like something really deep, like deep sounds, and after that I like to put something light, and that way I'm touching the both fields, the deep dark and the light one as well. This is my approach, as I said, and this is how the whole track sounds right now. It's not much, but this was one session of maybe 1 hour, and I believe that 1-2 hours a day is the best if you work on a specific track and if you want to have the really nice progress. For me, it works the best every day for 1 hour or 2 hours, and then you can listen back later on, and then you can see what you can fix later on, and that way you probably can finish a track in 10 days, which means that you can create 3 tracks a month, which is for me really nice result. Sometimes I write a track in a day, but then I change it a lot, and on the end I realized that usually 2 weeks for one track for me works the best. And if you have 2 tracks every month, that means that in 4.5 months you can create the whole album, and now is the perfect time for that. So let's hear the track.